are in that situation that I'm not a fan of personally, where you have to utilize the Galio ultimate almost exclusively as a defensive option. And because there is, a lot of kind of low
400 miles per hour, Rift Herald is taken by JDG. As the Gangplank ulti comes down, initiation goes through, Lumao going in, Galio ulti shows up, and now here comes your counterattack. Lumao into the stasis, keeping himself alive. Kanavi tries to get in there, but Leona's running away. Into the mix goes the Renekton, but now he's going to be juggled around in the middle of 4. It's a 1-for-1 so far. SOFM is taken down, the firing range opens up. Here's your curtain call, baby. Bin goes in the bin. Feels good for JDG picking up this Drake for themselves.
Where Kanavi may show up in order to potentially defend against this, but Angel gets tagged and he's gonna be slept up.
Angel is asleep, walks away from the trouble bubble, but the follow-up CC comes down. Say hello to Lumao. Melee minion, but it's a melee minion you didn't already have.
You'll take that.
I mostly just enjoy the fact that you didn't even try to make it sound pretty. You just said that's troll. But let's see how the play happens down here. Galio engage comes through. Nicely done. Angel with the execution. Loken is gone. And Lumao, it's about time for Suning to get some revenge for all those roams. Make sure the enemy team can't chase this one any further. JDG was collapsing with 3, but they won't be able to find any more. Bin does lose running, and it looks like Suning, they're not going to make any sort of a fight happen here anyway. That is the second of Drake going over.
To erase that early lead that JDG had, they have been able to scale up on some of these champions, and they are looking potentially for a fight right now.
They got the CC down onto Kanavi. Solar Flare lands, but look at the damage onto the Lilia. Kanavi forced to run away as more comes through. Bard ulti's able to find it. Yagal's already down. Kanavi's gonna join him. Bullet time! Suning Gaming, they found 2. The third is waiting in the brush on the back of the Drake pit. He gets himself away over the wall with the Hex Flash. That damn rune is doing
so available. They're looking to rush this down to force a response here from JDG. The TP is available on Yagao. He's up in 5.
Curtain call opened up. Sword Art going to be tanking those bullets here on the front at the start. Kanavi's back in the base. Sword Art down to half HP. TP's coming in. Zooms into the ulti. Baron at 2k HP. SOFM's coming in. He's going to be able to have to try to stop this. Bin's going to be taken down. Zoom is tearing Suning Gaming apart. He's looking for the kill, but he will be shut down. SOFM taking the kill now. Loken's in the middle of 4, and Loken is gone down.
You could recycle that one too, right? You've got MVB, most valuable Bin, most valuable Barrel.
I don't think anybody's sweating a lot over the loss of those. Angel's here in the brush. Yagal walks up. The taunt is down. The follow-up with the Justice Punch. However, the Drowsy found SOFM as he moved forward to try to help his team. Now he's looking to get away. Now Lumao buying a little bit of time on the side with the Solar Flare. Angel through that portal. Curtain call opens up. 2 shots into the back of Sword Art. Make it 3. Make it 4. Loken gets the kill.
Beautifully done. Yagal over the wall, softening up the bar enough so that 4th Jhin bullet could come in, clean up the kill, and they're going to get a tower off this.
Trouble Puddle still on the ground, zoning Suning Gaming away. Zoom tanking the Ocean Drake right now. It's SOFM who dashed over the wall. He's waiting in the brush. He's waiting in the pit. Now he's drowsy. He could be in a real bad spot as the follow-up is coming through. They're able to get him into the stasis, keeping him alive. The Ocean Drake's going to be taken low and secured by Kanavi. Lumao stuck in the pit. He should be dead here.
That's some incredible team fighting here from Suning. Playing a lot of that fight over the wall, utilizing the MF ult, the GP ult, to be able to come through and chunk them out. And now Angel, he's caught up.
Angel running that interference, making sure that Yagal can't get as close to the pit as he wants to be. But now Bin's going to be tanking Yagal. He finds the kill into SOFM. The enemy jungler is down. This is huge for JDG. Kanavi manages to bait Angel into a bad spot. The stasis will not keep him alive, and Loken picks up the kill. JD Gaming just tears Suning apart, and now they're onto the Baron themselves.
Yeah, Suning really mismanaged that split calls, as half of them are trying to continue hitting this Baron, half of them are peeling off to fight, and they lose out in what was that 5v3 setup. Wangfeng almost has his ultimate, but not quite. JDG look like they could just finish this Baron.
Yagao going over the wall here with the Zoe. It was his snipe onto SOFM that guaranteed Suning couldn't stay here. Zoom is diving around and slashing him down. Zoom in a 1v2. He grabs the first. Can he get the second? The Baron goes over to JDG. Zoom's kill onto the Misfortune just makes it a party, man. Ben is also gone. Super fun to watch gameplay so
It
far.
really has, and it's still not over. I mean, Mercurial, he can upgrade the Executioners, but he's really ready to go. The GP is on that massive 3-item spike, but SOFM caught out.
SOFM getting chain CC'd. Look at all of those stuns, making sure he's not able to get away.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Kanavi showing him exactly what Lilia can do with that movement speed, just kiting all over the place. And Angel cannot catch him. Meanwhile, Ben's in the bottom side doing that split push thing as JDG continues to push down the top lane. Kanavi is fine, just distracting. Sword Art and Angel are stuck in a 2v1. They cannot deal with the Lilia. Kanavi is making them look foolish as they try to find this. Kanavi continues kiting away. He's just fine. It doesn't even matter as JDG have moved all the way to
has first position here. They can just take this and then get out with the magical portal.
So can't quite make it happen. Kanavi trying to keep on throwing those swirl seeds, looking for anything he might be able to find. Drowsy down onto Ben. Gangplank getting himself away now. Curtain call opens up. Third shot hits. Fourth shot hits. Lumao once again in some trouble, trying to run away, but Huanfeng's got the damage. Kanavi be cognizant of that fact and be prepared to play around it. Lumao will once again eat a little bit of damage, a little bit of CC, but he does not care. SOFM trying to escape. Sword Art with the flash over the wall. Zoom, flash into the follow. Sword Art is in danger, and he is destroyed. Angel shows up with Taunt down, but Ben's coming around from the side. Lumao might be in a bad spot. Bullet time goes flying. Lumao still hobbling away, but it's a double kill for Yagao. The Zoe, the artillery, has arrived as Ben tries to run away, but Loken, the power of the Jin to slow him down. Ben won't be able to turn this one back. No, sir. Stasis only buys an extra second. The damage comes through. JDG.
Can you ever get in range to actually take it? So I just don't think it's even worth going for with Soul on the table here in 30 seconds. He's got to make the call to give up the Baron, try to play. But getting knocked down, losing the stopwatch is very critical, and now we are on this potential Soul point.
All right, it's Ocean Soul for JDG if they're able to find it. Big sleep coming through for JDG, but a good bullet time's going to scare them back away. Zoom is diving into the back line, looking to keep everybody else away, but Suning's right back into the pit. Lumao's going to be taken down. There goes the Drake. It is over to JDG. Kanavi secures it, and the Ocean Soul for his team. But now JDG has to get the hell out of town. Huanfeng's looking to chase, but Zoom is still fighting 1 versus 3 in the back line. SOFM will be shot down from a million miles away as the bullets keep pouring in, and Zoom refuses to die. The man is just spinning around in a circle like a gosh darn Beyblade, and he is tearing all of Suning Gaming apart. Zoom grabs the kill. The Ocean Soul does what the Ocean Soul was made to do, and JDG comes out on top.
Nicely done for JDG, and this could be the potential death push here. We'll see how long Suning can hold on. It is just Ben and Huanfeng right now. 10 seconds on Angel, 30 on Sword Art, 20 on SOFM. At the very least, they're going to lose multiple inhibitors here, but this could just be lights out. They only have the one Nexus turret remaining here.
That Ocean Soul secure was so big.
That decided the fight.
For Kanavi. It honestly was so incredibly important. It may have been what won the game. Sleep onto Ben. He gets away. You can't say the same for Huanfeng. Shutdown credit over to Loken. Ben will join him now, and JDG, they clean Suning Gaming up in the base. The Ocean Soul was the secret ingredient, Mr. Azael. Sword Art's back alive, but he's 1v5. It will not matter. Game 1 goes to JDG.
Back-to-back multi-man from then on, but the early laning phase was definitely not in his favor, and we saw that somewhat pouring over into the jungle, where the lanes for Suning were on the back foot. They were getting pushed in, and as a result, Yagao is missing. He is returning now to mid lane, but Lily is down here too.
Could have been a 4-man play. Huanfeng with no summoner spells, no mana, half HP.
Ooh,
this is a
coming now.
Very vulnerable Jin. SOFM showing up, we're getting a 3v3. Lumao running away, trying to disengage. Sword Art with the follow. Lumao tanks some damage, Kanavi does too. Redemption had showed up from the Zoe, but Angel is here. Remember, Lumao doesn't have a way out this time, and that means first Zoom to pretty much play this like we saw previously.
And Graves is a jungler, right? So if you can go tabbies against GP Graves, you're feeling really good. Oh, yeah. But they actually spotted them on this invade, and they're looking for a collapse. Everyone is here.
Oh, but Zoom has joined the fight, and Angel could still be in some dire straits. He tries to get away, he uses the flash. Angel is disengaged for now, but Ben's coming around from the top side. Lumao is also here, Gangplank ult ulti summoned up. Zoom walking away, uses that Q to try to keep himself healed up. Over the wall comes Angel. Zoom's taken low, Zoom's taken down. Bin disengaging here once more. Trouble bubble over the wall, but Sword Art is still in a bad spot. Lumao's getting himself away. Here comes the Swirl Seed. Sword Art stays alive. Sword Art finally drops. Angel looking to provide some cover fire over the wall, gets right back over in time, and now the pickup kill onto SOFM. The double kill for KazaLoLL.
You think it's 50-50, but it's not because they're just that good, right? Like,
yeah.
They are seeing it differently. They are believing in their ability to execute, and Bin now locked down.
Oh, Bin, you got to get out of there, man, but I don't think it's happening. He buys as much time as he can. Rate up in groups compared to Suning. They get 54% of their Rift Heralds in group stage, and so far they've got 100 here in this series. Flash over the wall, Lumao makes sure he doesn't get caught out as Suning moves up to collapse. The turret is still alive. The Leona ulti summoned up. Here comes the engage from Sword Art, but they got to be careful. Not everybody's here just yet.
Here's
Haymaker from Lumao's trying to get him away. They do manage to grab the first kill, but what else can they get here? They had already lost the first turret. They need to find something else. Zoom gets hit by 2 shots, dodges the third, tries to get away from the fourth, but Huan Feng has the damage, and the shutdown will also go over to Bin.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's incredibly minute, as the first Drake of the game going to be taken here likely by Suning 11 minutes in. That is a slow. Be careful with how and where he's farming.
Exactly. He really does, but Angel in trouble here.
Oh boy. Stasis tries to keep him alive long enough. Flashing away. Now they can bite back a little bit here, but Zoom shows up. He's in there. They've got to lead somewhere. Bot lane Pryo, invade the jungle, look for a play. Now in the mid lane, they're looking for a play here. Sword Art tries to disengage. Leona is tanky, but not tanky enough to get out of versus 2. Of course, a lot of that is the Rift Herald difference. As Sword Art shows up, here's some of that playmaking I'm talking about. The damage comes through, and the shots are true. Yagao is there, but it's a little bit late.
Through there from long range, having the confidence to land those skills, having the confidence that your teammate will be
the ability to make so many plays here, as now Suning has decided to contest the Rift Herald. They don't want to give away this second one for free.
Oh,
Sleepy Trouble Bubble down onto Lumao. It's SOFM taking over the Rift Herald, and now the engage is coming through, but Sword Art's in some trouble. The Haymaker finds him, and now Yagao has arrived to find the taunt onto 2 enemy players. They try to disengage it, but now they've got Huan Feng coming in from the side. A very nice bullet time at the very edge of the sleep. Angel's in a bad spot, but they may just turn it around.
So good in this game. Up 4,000 gold, 2 dragons to 0. They are crushing game number.
Shame on you, Sword Art, for not being able to see in the future, but you know what? I think the man's been making enough plays throughout this game. We're going to forgive him. So do one more thing about it. But yeah, the bullet time onto Angel doesn't manage to wake you up from the sleep, so he was doing so much with it, but again, just not enough.
TP coming in, we're scrapping flowers.
Shows up, it's not done. Sleepy Trouble Bubble immediately down onto Yagao's Galio. He goes into stasis, trying to buy himself some time. A beautiful interrupt. Meanwhile, back up in the top lane, it's a double kill for Loken. League of Legends. Huan Feng on the top lane. The final tier 1 turret will fall. That's 3 turrets now for Suning.
They get it in the end. You know, it started out as just a little bit of initial pressure, trying to attack some resources from Zoom, but, you know, he hit Graves with the hard counter of standing behind something, so Graves could no longer hit him when he went behind the tower. But as the rest of the teams are coming up, they look for the flank, and it's a deep teleport flank from Galio on the other side that we saw on screen, but Kanavi able to land the multi-man sleep, able to set them up for the Lumao dunk there, grabbing 2 kills over onto Loken, who was having to deal with, again, a barrel from Bin. The GP ultimate dropped on his head as he's going into that ultimate, because if you want to keep channeling, you've got to tank that. Yeah. And that's going to get even more difficult. I'm not sure if Bin actually has the Death Starter upgrade, but the true damage...
Remember last game when JDG was at soul point? Suning was able to stop it. Kanavi in a bad spot, forced to flash over the wall. That's a big summoner spell to not have available. Trouble Bubble over the wall, but now it's SOFM in a really bad place. He gets away, but he's running right into the waiting arms of Zoom. The Galio's coming around from behind, but the fight is already lost. JDG, they tried to play offensively, but they split their forces, and now
chase for a penta here?
Everybody dig an extra grave, put a 4th one in the dirt. Bin
Suning, and we saw Lumao setting up in flank positions multiple times in a row, warded out by the long range.
Flexing those muscles in the enemy jungle, laying down that control ward line, cutting off the map yet again. Loken is in a bad spot, gets tagged by the slow, collateral damage doesn't find the kill, but the barrel does. Bin is there for the follow-up. They find the damage they need. Hwanfeng goes godlike. Where's Kanavi at? It's going to be a whole lot of fun here, my friends. Bambi's out of the picture once more. Yagao is here, but 1 versus 3 is not where Galio needs to find himself. Justice Punch away, keeps alive yet again. Ben trying to chase this up, but where is that?
What?
It's Jin!
He's in the
enemy base! Behind the curtains with the curtain call! Everybody is done, man. Hwanfeng is legendary. They pick up the last 2 kills. I tell you what, of all the places that thing could have opened up from, next to the rock in the red team base was not where I was expecting. That was a beautiful subversion of my expectations. Jen should have wrote Season 8 of Game of Thrones. It wouldn't have sucked. But Suning Gaming is now taking down that mid lane inhibitor.
It's Secret Agent, man. Hwanfeng snuck into their base, bribed the guards, and ulted the team behind him. I have never in my life seen a flanking Jin ult with towers still up in the base from inside the enemy's base. That was incredible. They are just chasing him down, and it's just not fair. 1 or 2 hits from the Jin is killing off everybody. And look at this man. He's just sneaking right past the minions and finds the angle. Everyone else is dead, so it actually makes perfect sense. There's no one there to punish him inside the base. How do you escape from this? You are now surrounded on all sides. You can't run from anywhere. This is the most big brain Jin ultimate I've ever seen. Hwanfeng, you beautiful man, you. Because if you do not, they are definitely gonna make no mistake about killing you.
Yagao Justice punches away. It doesn't
All
get
the flank here is Zoom and Kanavi.
But now around the side, Kanavi goes for the swirl seed, but it does not find Hwanfeng. JDG's in a spot where they might be able to make some sort of a move. They're going after the Jin. They're looking to make them plays, but Ben is able to get Hwanfeng out of there, and now Hwanfeng is still alive. Escaping the haymaker. The man's making some plays. He goes legendary as they look to end the game here. Yagao will try to hobble out. He's done it in the past couple of fights, but it won't do anything anymore. Kanavi's the last one to go. 5 dead for nothing. Just walk through the enemy base. Take whatever you please. Suning Gaming, we've got ourselves a series as they take down JDG and secure the win in Game 2.
And what a way to do it. 26-minute win over that they themselves, banned out the Leona, did not go towards something like a Rakan or the Leona or even a Nautilus for hard engage because they're putting themselves...
I think Volibear makes a lot of sense when you have 2 globals that want to dive with you. That ward over the wall is going to be able to find 2. It's some trouble for Yagao, who tries to get himself away, but Bin grabs the first blood, and Suning is immediately in hot pursuit. Lumao.
Yep, nicely done by SOFM. Going to be able to grab that. Sword Art maybe getting picked here, though. Great setup.
This is a good one coming out here for JDG. Going after Sword Art, who gets a binding and lives, and they follow him over the wall. They're right into the waiting arms of Angel. And JDG, they missed the kill by less than 50 health. And Sword Art baits them into a really bad spot. Angel goes for the wins of both of the kills. And tragically for Zoom, that's just what he rolled. But now Sword Art will face check another brush. This time the follow-up is there. JDG.
Sure, Zoom is not going to have any fun this entire game, but doesn't mean you can't win.
Lumao might not be having any fun either. Deadly Flourish hit the mark that time around. Gangplank ulti summoned up.
That was a silly invade from Lumao. He's trying to go for some deep vision, but you see the pink ward there. Your Ezreal's in base. Your Lilia is topside. Yagao is not near you. Do you really think the opponents cannot respond? Where it's Ninja Tabbies versus the Triforce and saying, all right, let's fight it out,
bro.
It's just not going to work.
Well, Deadly Flourish finds the Volibear.
Nice ult.
Stun into the wall, will be stopped. Now, let's see how good Hwanfeng is at aiming. 3 for 3. Oh, the flash away from the 4th one just to make sure of it. Hwanfeng on the Jin, losing nothing in between games 2 and 3 here. The skill the man's got. Collapse. I don't think there's any reason to really fight this. Your opponents already have priority. They got there 10 seconds earlier. Doesn't really mean a whole lot's going to happen. TP comes through. Nice turnaround. Sword Art again in a bad spot. Sword Art taken out at the very, very end of the fight. Lumao grabbing the kill on that one as SOFM and Yagao are into the 1v1, but it will not be a 1v1 for long. Lumao showing up now as SOFM goes into the Lamb's Respite. Here comes Galio. Here comes Jin. The whole damn party's here, baby. Well, bottom side, Yagao's trying to deal with Bin. They're flashing emotes back and forth. Angel swooped around from the side, wanted to use the Predator there. But Loken will get away. Yagao, he joins the fight, but then he has to flash away to try to survive. Curtain call. Let's see what they're able to find with this one. FOFM forced to use the Lamb's Respite, keeping himself alive. Loken's still barely living, but you can't say the same thing for Lumao. He gets picked off in the jungle, and look at what Suning is able to do. You've got to focus on so many different things at once, because they're starting to fight in the mid lane. They're falling back. They're punishing you when you TP in. Now they're going to start a fight on the flank, and that's where they grab the kill. This team is on the same page, and now they're taking it, and there's no way you can even contest. Now, the light shining in the darkness here for JDG is, this is not an Ocean Soul,
right? You know, good luck actually catching Huangfeng and locking him down with Swifty Boots, with you know, all of the additional move speed too.
Oh, one more arrow in his back to take Konami.
Missing health damage coming through there, and that looked like a lot coming out of SOFM, but now comes the engage. I don't think this is going to work. You got no damage, Zoom.
Sword Art gets over the wall, using the magical journey. Sword Art's still in some trouble, but they're guiding away from it. Zoom continues the chase, needs a little bit more. He won't find it. Sword Art, gosh darn life. Bomby Cinder, Glacial Shroud, Chain Vest, Kindle Gem. None of these are a 1,000 gold deficit, and now the Baron is started up by Suning Gaming. They set it as a trap. Sword Art's coming through the wall on the magical journey. Zoom now finds himself on the flank. SOFM, he's shut down Suning Gaming with an incredible mistake as Zoom now re-engages. They're still trying to find some more. Angel's in the middle of 5. He goes into the stasis, keeping himself alive as Bin's looking for the damage onto the mid laner, able to find it now. Huanfeng grabbing the kill onto Yagao, but now Huanfeng also dies. Suning Gaming, they just dialed up Uber Eats. They delivered free delivery over to JDG. Everybody's getting fed. That was a...
Because this is a pretty tough Baron to take. It's still very early on, but they're TPing to it. I don't know if SOFM can get here in time. He does have ultimate and smite. Sword Art can get him over there. He's trying to delay. It's going to be close.
SOFM is here. Over the wall, can he get it? No. SOFM jumps in. Baron will go over to the side of JDG, but it is already 2 kills for the follow-up attack from Suning Gaming.
After the Bard dies in a 3v4.
Baron is worn away. 2 minutes till the Baron's up. 2.5 till the Elder. Zoom is in a bad spot, and all of Suning is about to tell him exactly how bad of a spot it is. Zoom wants to escape, but I don't think so. Huanfeng, again, the man getting paid, the one taking the kill, exactly where they want that money to go. Look at the itemization on the Jhin. Infinity Edge, Storm Razor, Rapid Fire Cannon. Still has more to work on, but damn is he already strong. Tier 2 falls in the bottom lane, and that means every turret not located in the enemy base has collapsed. Suning now pressuring the bottom lane inhibitor turret of JDG. They'll take that one down without a fight, without a contest. And now they're looking at the inhib itself. If you get this inhib removed from the map in time for those big buffs spawning, it does a lot. It creates a ton of extra pressure, and they'll do just that. Suning not wanting to stick around now, trying to get themselves away. Zoom is alive. Suning taking the magical journey, getting themselves away. Yagao went for the flank, but it was subverted by the magical journey. Suning continuing to run away, but now here's your engage. It's Angel who gets caught out, but Angel who flashes away. Sword Art now the nearest player to the side of JDG. Yagao looking to catch up to these guys, but remember, the Twisted Fate. The Elder Drake is up. Suning sees that Twisted Fate ulti has been used here. They're just making sure they don't put themselves in a bad spot before that one goes through. Lumao now going to be tanking a lot of damage. Curtain call opens up, and it's Angel in the back of the enemy team. All of JDG having to deal with the Galio. Curtain call shots continuing to fire through. Gangplank ulti summoned up. Very low, pretty poor shape here. Yes, Kanavi is full HP. Does he go for the flash over the wall? Does he go for an attempted steal? He can't now anyway. The binding finds him, and now he's in stasis. Angel coming around. He's looking for Loken. Remember, the Ezreal's the one hope they might have. Angel continuing to move forward.
Yagao was forced to use the TF ultimate just basically to scout, to try to get a handle on where Suning may be. To see
this game put themselves at match point and take us to game number 4. JDG will have to play just perfectly. And honestly, Suning will have to make some pretty big errors to lose any fight with this current game state.
Yeah, and they've already set up all the waves, so they're just not even going to get a chance to really wait it out. Bot lane already had the inhibitor down. SOFM zoning multiple members off on the side. Mid lane was getting pushed in by Bin, so this tower is just gone too. And that's going to be triple in him, because if you're not fighting at the inhibitor tower, you are not fighting anywhere except at your Nexus with that Elder up. You can see that Suning realizes this, but Zoom's stepping a little bit far forward. You've got to be careful.
Just A little bit of exposure to the enemy team means 1/3 of his health bar, and that's the tank. The tank that only has 2 items, 32 minutes, excuse me, into the game because of the state of the level 1, because of Bin getting both of those kills. It has echoed so much throughout this game. Curtain call opens, Yagao and Lumao run away. Pantheon blocking some of the damage here with the E, as now both Nexus turrets are taking a beating. Now. Nexus turret number 1 is down, but Elder being gone means JDG might have their only chance right here. They make the move onto SOFM, but the Lamb's respite is in time. Angel finds the taunt onto 2. The fight is done before it even began. A double kill for Bin, an absolute destruction of JDG, and another promising game for Suning. They will get the triple kill onto the gangplank. They will get themselves a win, and they will... Gosh darn it!
You devoted like 30 seconds.
I know
to the lead up for that.
I don't even get
outperforming Bin pretty heavily in this 1v1, and there is potential for the dive now. He's not 6, he's just dead.
Bin has no way out, man. See you later.
Right instinct, but then he got greedy for the farm. He's like, what if though? What if I get 6 and I can survive? And instead ends up going down, and now Loken on the bottom side might just be dead.
Yep, this is that punish we were talking about, but it's 1 for 1. Sword Art ends up getting killed because of the turret aggro. Lumao trying to flash around and outplay this one. Huanfeng takes 2 shots from the turret. He doesn't hit his deadly flourish. That's what I'm talking about with hitting the shots. He missed the shot. Really useful. It's a pretty impressive gold lead here so far for the side of JDG as Kanavi finds himself in a fight with Huanfeng here. It's gun versus gun, but now Sword Art is pulled into a bad spot. The damage continues through, but Lamb's respite will keep him alive. This fight's about to get spicy real fast. Enchanted Crystal Arrows fired off, and SOFM's grabbing the kill onto the enemy jungler, but jungler for jungler, the sacrifice is through. Support for support will not be the case. Lumao barely survives, and Huanfeng will try to hobble away from this one. Beautiful! Perfect cleanse, but it will not matter as the Renekton has joined the fight. Zoe's damage is very impressive, and Angel dead because of the fact that Lumao can just follow it up, pull him in, instant kill, no problem, nothing to it. But the mid lane tier 1 turret will barely survive. Now it falls, but the curtain call is here. Sword Art shows up, but he's on the front line, and after that stasis ends, he might be in some trouble. Manages to walk away. Yagao uses a stasis of his own, but Bin gets the kill in this fight if JDG want to contest this. The traps are being revealed. The sweeper also finding some wards here, but SOFM has already secured the Drake for his team. Now they're coming in. That's a nice pull from the Blitzcrank. Immediate kill onto SOFM as Yagao is low, but he's kiting around. He's just fine. Angel with a sleepy trouble bubble. The Paddle Star weaved around the Blitzcrank to find some critical damage and pulls the rest of his team behind him. He's still a big threat if they try to save this tier 1 turret, which they won't be able to do. So now that is not let Suning take this 3rd Drake. Yagao shows up in the bottom lane, trying to stop Bin, clearing away the minions first and foremost, as Bin tries to disengage here. Sword Art is coming down to help him, wants to give him that lantern to escape.
But JDG pushing in mid lane, bot lane tower is going to be theirs as well, and Lumao threatening with a hook.
Lumao going after it, nice sidestep from Angel, keeping himself away from the clutches of the Blitzcrank. Lumao stepping out of the range. Does have control over the bottom side river, but remember this is a 5,500 gold lead for JDG. Yagao with the flash into the gold card, but Lumao's already at 1/3. Lumao is locked down. Lumao is making a big pull, but it's only on to the enemy tank. Meanwhile, Kanavi is still in the pit, still looking to deal with the Ocean Drake. Zoom's coming around from behind. Zoom's able to find the damage down to SOFM. Kanavi's already going to be killed. That could be huge. Zoom is very big. He tries to get himself away, but the Deadly Flourish lives up to his name and locks him down. It's a double kill to Huanfeng. It's Suning winning a fight when it looks like they have no business winning a fight. A triple kill for Huanfeng. He wants to keep going, but the Flourish is not deadly enough. The Sleepy Trouble
gold was incredible. The skirmishing ability of these two teams really being showcased here as they even get the tower flash on, as well as the flash from this Renekton. Once you don't kill off the Kindred there and he escapes over the backside of the fight.
In the pit, but now the TP's coming in. Now there is your ulti, but Yagao cannot find what he needs to find. He's in a bad spot, and Volley's coming around from the side. Bin makes sure they get a kill, but Zoom gets one in return. SOFM leading the charge, and Suning has managed to find 2. Zoom in danger, now being pursued. His cool always so far in this series, as that tier 2 turret will fall. Suning now
tank with Ocean Soul. that is so much of added value. He becomes incredibly difficult to burst down. We know that this man can do everything he needs to do to take over
early on in the game, and I love to see it. I love to see that prioritization as SOFM does get the Lamb's respite down in time, keeps himself alive. Now Kanavi's rooted up, but he's not in any real danger. Oh, Hwanfeng, good use of the cleanse there. Wildcard side. The Kindred now has 20% HP. Okay, up to a little bit higher of a value here. Bin trying to get away, but he's 1 versus 5. The rest of the team's catching up. Yagao makes sure he provides the CC. There's your chain coming through, but a nice unstoppable ulti to buffer through some of that CC now. Zoom could be in danger, and Suning are mounting their counterattack. Loken's already nearly killed off. You gotta block the shots, Blitzcrank. You gotta block the shots.
Contest. There's no choice.
If JDG gives this away, the game becomes exponentially harder. The Renekton taken so low, the TP coming in, Suning with the Drake, down nearly now to 0 HP. It's gonna be slain by Hwanfeng! If the man didn't already do enough this series, he just got the Ocean Soul for his team. Loken is down, Hwanfeng's on a rampage, and boy is he not stopping! In this game, but it has slipped through their fingers. Suning will nearly tie the gold up with this Baron take. Less than 5.
That's all you need to do right now. Everyone just needs to make sure that Hwanfeng does not die.
It's not really a bragging point, but that's all Bin has to say. That's all he needed to say in the bottom lane for them to turn things around. At least he's not dead. Can Kanavi say the same? I don't think so. The Deadly Flourish guarantees it. And SOFM is the one to pick up the money. They're going for the mid lane inhib. Nobody's there to stop them. Yagao's in the bottom lane. Knock, knock, buddy. You got to get home. We got some problems. As Suning is going after the Nexus turrets. Kanavi is still dead for another 30 seconds. It is a 5v4 on the map. Sword Art with the hook onto the Blitzcrank. Won't be able to find the kill all the way, but Zoe's artillery will guarantee it. Zoom nearly going to be killed off now. Lamb's respite keeps Sword Art alive, and Suning will take down both Nexus turrets. They are in a 5v3 on the map. They are in a situation to take this game, and Suning will take down their opponents from the LPL. The 3rd seed will defeat the 2nd, and they will move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, I think that expectations were that given Suning finished 11th in spring, yes, they did get 3rd in summer, but they ended up falling short against Top Esports. It was JDG that took Top Esports to all 5 games, and expectation was, well, you have a clear top 2 and then Suning underneath. And so coming into this best of 5, especially for their first Worlds appearance, like expectation is that they're not going to be able to perform, but they performed out of their minds. Bin in the top lane was one of the standout players. Hwanfeng had a fantastic series. All of the pieces really came together. They really clutched up when it mattered, and it was a fantastic performance from the entire Suning squad.
Yes, and we should sing all of their praises. I do want to get your take also on, for me, what was after game 2, almost the disintegration of a JDG, of their basics that we know. Keep it calm and steady. Keep it together in the early game. Put the pedal to the metal in the mid game. Win those team fights. What happened to this team?
Well, I feel like game 3 was obviously a very unfortunate level 1 thing where everything went wrong, and I think that was a game that they needed to reset.
Of course it is.
Of course it is, and we've talked about how important level 1s are, but it's one of those situations where JDG, I don't think were hard outplayed. It was one of those oh, okay, things went very wrong very early and they couldn't bounce back. Game 4, however, I was like, okay, JDG, they've gone for a bit of an interesting draft. They didn't have a huge amount of magic damage, and it felt like that they needed to be the proactive ones in the early game, but there were a couple of fights that were just so beautifully played by Suning. We talked at the beginning of the day how we felt that JDG was going to be the better team-fighting team. I said that specifically, where I thought that against G2, that was where Suning was faltering specifically. And so when you came to these mid to late game fights, the way in which Suning just finessed JDG was phenomenal to watch. And I have nothing but good things to say about them, and in particular their AD carry. He was so talented and so good in his positioning and how he played, and he really showcased how powerful Jhin can be in the right hands.
And the upper player of the series was Hwanfeng, and we're all gonna look at that Jhin flank. It's probably, yes, there it is. I love it. This was just immaculate, and I love players who take the game as you know it and flip it on its head and do something different. And in general, we had the misfortune game. They ended up losing, but he still played well. The Jhin was immaculate, and when you look at
this was the fight.
Oh,
this fight from Hwanfeng was really good, and people need to pay attention to his positioning and everything because he just does all the right things. He's never really in any threat. He uses the Kindred ultimate. He positions really well, and then he's able to get a big chase down at the very end to actually clean up the fight. Like, it was just such great team fighting from the whole squad of Suning, and of course he was the one that kind of hit the final nail in the coffin, but I'm kind of just surprised. I'm amazed, and again, like, it was Frost that was talking a lot. She was a big advocate of Suning being the dark horse coming into the tournament. And I know some analysts were saying that Suning was a bit of an underrated team. And I think that in group stages, we saw them and like, okay, yes, they did beat G2, but I think there are still a lot of weaknesses that you can point at and highlight that better teams should be able to exploit. But it feels like that coming into the quarters, like they've been able to fix a lot of those problems. And I don't know, they've got a tournament buff. Maybe it's the Bin Dad buff. Who knows what it is, but they're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team you can't do anything but like and love. Their logo is amazing. The players all have individual fantastic stories. You know, Bin's dad saying, yo, if you're gonna go to Worlds, at least make it to semifinal. Otherwise, that's not worth. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but he did tell him get to the semifinals, which they do now. Hwanfang with the amazing story. SOFM saying at the beginning, all I want to do is people to know who I am. Everyone knows who you are, SOFM.
And Sorta, I think this might be, now I'm not confident on this, but I think this might be Sorta's first ever semifinal. I think that he, multiple times on the Flash Wall specifically, he made it to quarters, but almost every time he was knocked out. And the fact that he's been able to qualify for the semifinals with this young, largely young team with new players, very inexperienced on the international stage, like, I can't believe how much of a big deal this must be to him. Like,
it's crazy. It absolutely is. So Suning are going to move on now to face TES or Fnatic pending that bout tomorrow. And yeah, it was an upset today. Is an upset on the cards tomorrow, Andrew?
No. I mean, I would love it. I mean, one of the great things about Worlds is that upsets do happen, and we do see them. Like in the quarterfinals, they're often not that common. Normally in the best of fives, like you usually get to see teams like exploit their weaknesses, but I think it was Reckless that said in best himself, there are only strong teams in the quarterfinals. Damwon showcased how strong of a team they are. Suning have come up clutch, and now the Europeans get to showcase what they're capable of. Last year, they had a great performance. Let's see if they can do the same this year.
Yeah, I'm a bit shell-shocked, I gotta say. JDG, you know, one of the tournament favorites, and they're just out just like that. It's what you talked about at the beginning of the day. It's cutthroat. You gotta show up. You have 5 games to do it. You have to win 3, and at the end of the day, they didn't. Suning came out on top. Amazing result here, and that was all from us here in Berlin, but we'll be right back with more content. Dash and friends for Worlds Cooldown.